think the first question had to do with the 20% limit on goods that are being manufactured in our export processing zones. Indeed, this is true, and it is part and parcel of the requirement that we are committed to as part of the EAC on the market. But what we're trying to do, because we also appreciate and understand that, especially when we speak in one particular area, the textile industry, we think that the potential for us to be able to work to see how we can expand this. We currently have legislation in the Parliament for special economic zones. And this is one issue where we are seeking to see if we can remove that particular requirement. So that we can encourage more industries to establish themselves in Kenya, not just for the export market, but also to take advantage of the domestic and regional market as well. So that's something that we are looking at, and we hope that once this legislation goes to Parliament, we'll be able to address. And the second question had to do with geothermal and what support the government can give. As you know, we have a very ambitious plan of expanding our power generation to 5,000 megawatts. And part and parcel of that is a recognition that government on its own doesn't have the full capacity. We need to partner with the private sector on a PPP basis to be able to achieve that objective. And I think the kind of support that we are lending on top of the normal investment protection and so on is we are willing to sign up with power purchase agreements with various investors, especially in geothermal, which we ourselves believe strong to be a future. We already have some 500 megawatts under geothermal, we have about 70 coming on board, and we have great potential to expand geothermal, which is not only clean energy but also cheap energy. So we would be more than willing to partner with the private sector to see us achieve the 5,000 megawatts that we're looking at, and be in a position to sign up power purchase agreements with potential investors. What is unique about Kenya? I think the first thing that is unique about Kenya is its people. You will never find people like you will find here in Kenya. We have the most educated, most productive labor force, not only just in this part of the world, but I believe strongly internationally. We have innovative, aggressive, and hardworking people. I think the second is location. Geographically, Kenya is very well situated as the gateway for the Eastern African region. We have a well-developed port that we are working to improve both its efficiency as well as expanding the port. I think the next issue also, we are a hub, an airline hub again for the region. We have a strong airline in Kenya Airways, so connectivity from Nairobi is second to none in the region. I think in terms of our infrastructure, which we are continually working on, our infrastructure development, both in terms of road and rail, as I'm sure you're aware, that we are moving on with those kind of things to connect Kenya with the rest of the region. I think within another year, the road will be complete, connecting us to Ethiopia, a market of 80 million. We are almost about to finalize, and we have finalized, just waiting for ratification, our special status agreement with Ethiopia, which again would open up that market to potential investors who are investing here in Kenya, on top of the East African region. Very good fiber connectivity as well. And lastly, also, I think in terms even of time zones, we are very well situated to be able to deal both with the Americas, Europe, and Asia. Perfectly well located in terms of our time zone as well, to be able to do business across boundaries. So I think these are some of the benefits that Kenya provides. I think the issue next was the issue of the one-stop center. This is something that we're working on, and I'd like Minister Aden, wherever he is, he can tell us where and how far he's gone on that particular issue, because it should be complete by now. In terms of protection of our iron and steel, I think Kenya is a country that really doesn't believe in closing out doors. We believe in competition, and we believe that Kenya can be competitive. So what we are trying to do is to make it cheaper for you to operate. That is why we are so keen on reducing our energy costs. That's why we're keen on improving infrastructure. That's why we're keen on improving the quality of our workforce through, additional, the investment we're making in TIVIT and other areas to improve the productivity also of our workforce. So I think some of these aspects, as we continue to pursue, will definitely make Kenya much more competitive than it has been in the past, thereby protecting our own investments from escalating costs, right? But also making us competitive in terms of other destinations. To my good friend, Mr. Turner, whereas I appreciate very much, asante sana, that we can get our visas here. Tumpigie makofi, asante sana. Thank you very much. Yeah. I think we definitely can work together, especially in dealing with issues of perception, because this is one area where I think we could work very strongly with our development partners. I think the other area is in terms of what's the right word? Ensuring that we get, and again, it's perception, just getting the right messaging in terms of investor confidence in Kenya and in the region. Indeed, we all recognize that we are faced with challenges, but the challenges that we are faced are no different from those challenges that are faced by other countries. And we are working together, as I'm sure you're well aware, in terms of how to deal with the security challenges, how to deal with the developmental challenges that we have. So I think for me, if you were to ask me, the one great thing that I think we could do a lot more together is to help us deal with the negative perceptions that are created out there that tend to make Kenya, or for that matter, Africa, that less attractive. So, for example, Mike, if you could just work to remove this issue of travel restrictions and travel, I would be my best friend. You would be my best friend, absolutely. Kenya is safe. Yeah, it's safe. I don't think there's nothing that you will find happening in Kenya that doesn't happen in any other part of the world. And in actual fact, we, and you know very well, are doing a lot to improve the security situation also in the country. But it is not at a level that one would say would block any kind of investment or tourism travel into our country. Aden, nisaidie tafadhali.
Thank you, sir. I think the issue of the industrial park that was raised, I know I did meet with the specific investor to discuss issues about infrastructure. We have, Your Excellency, today within the Kenya Investment Authority a situation where people come and we have various agencies of government that are housed within the Kenya Investment Authority. It is the beginning point for our investors who are new to country to actually start, whether it's issues about immigration, issues about environmental authority, issues around getting power and so many things. Can Invest is the place where we encourage our investors to start, and that is how the doors will be opened. Well, on the broader issue of support for infrastructure, I think that is something that we want to encourage private industrial parks, and we just need to make sure that you get as close as possible to the relevant infrastructure things that the government is doing, like sewer lights, sewers, water, as well as power. So please carry on building the parks. We will encourage you to support, through support in different ways, but specifically on One Stop, Your Excellency, Can Invest is a place we are doing to make sure that people are if you like, processed easily. On a broader issue on ease of doing business, which is what Ambassador High Commissioner talked about, we are working within our country through a combination of KEPSA, private sector, and government to improve the ease of doing business in our country. That is something that we are very excited about. It is a team of 40, 50 people based in Karen today, and their main purpose is to review processes that do hinder activities that investors are going through in our country. We will be bold, and we will be making it easy for people to do things much better than they've ever seen. And so we'll share that more with you. And High Commissioner asked what more they could do to support. I think it's sharing best practice. We're already getting sufficient support from development partners. We appreciate that. We just need to make sure that as we progress, we are able to share what it can be done better to improve, and sharing of best practice. So a lot is going on to support investment agenda in our country, and we really want to say, if in doubt about where to start, think of Kenya Investment Authority as a new investor, and the rest will be guided accordingly. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What do you plan to do after this? Tell them.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. There'll be breakouts after this, starting this afternoon, and there'll be special sessions for each sector. I'd encourage participants to participate in those sessions. And there will also be sessions for B&B. So meaning business-to-business sessions, and we are hoping that deals will be struck in those sessions. But what my colleague has told you, we will be facilitating all investors under Kenya Can Invest, Kenya Investment Agency. So throughout the year, because we plan to do the same conference the same time next year, we will be facilitating and giving you support under Can Invest. So bank owners, any support that you require, anything that we need to quickly facilitate you to settle in Kenya, we are available as a government. Thank you.
I think lastly, the only thing I just want to add is that if there are other issues that maybe you feel that are not adequately being addressed, I would encourage new investors to also join our private sector group, the Kenya KEPSA, Kenya Private Sector Alliance, because we as government hold regular sessions. In fact, we're due to hold our next session with them in early December, where we regularly go through what bottlenecks do investors have from different sectors in our economy. So any issues that maybe you feel are not adequately addressed, I think by joining through, you can channel those issues through KEPSA, and that creates a forum for us to be able to dialogue together and to deal with any issues or any problems that you may be encountering with your investments. But I think that's the only thing I just wanted to add. Unless you want to say something, Umar, or you're going to talk about that. Asante.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your indulgence. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present Mr. Robert Tashima, who is the regional editor for Africa for the Oxford Business Group, and he shall give us a short presentation about the report which he has, which will go to build up on our case of why Kenya